The wholeness of our home felt thin that night. I just need to feel free, Sarah murmured, her voice slipping beneath the bathroom door like a draft. My chest clenched, an ancient instinct urging me to stay quiet, to listen. Free? From what? Or worse, from me? The man who had spent 10 years building a life with her, layer after layer, promise after promise. I lay there with burning eyes, pretending sleep while her confession hollowed me out from the inside. Morning arrived dull and heavy. Sarah was already in the kitchen humming softly as she poured coffee, her auburn hair glowing in the early light as if nothing had changed. I watched her. Every movement familiar yet suddenly foreign, like a melody I once knew but could no longer hum. "Good morning, love," she said. Her smile shone bright, but it stopped well before her eyes. I only nodded, my throat sealed shut. The memory of her midnight whisper clung to me like cold, wet fabric. Freedom. The word pulsed in my head, a splinter I couldn't pry loose. Over breakfast I saw the way she held her phone, stroking the screen with her thumb like it was something precious. She'd been texting more lately, laughing at strange hours, glancing away whenever I asked who it was. "Just Lisa," she'd answer lightly, though her fingers gave her away, stiff, guilty. Lisa, her college best friend, the same one who called marriage a cage with perks. I'd always dismissed Lisa's cynicism as fallout from her messy relationship history. But now, every secretive flick of Sarah's eyes felt like a thread pulling apart the life we had woven together. Weeks bled into one another, weighed down by doubt. I'd catch Sarah staring through windows, her face shaped by longing, as if she'd ended up in a life she never signed up for. I wanted to ask, to demand clarity, but fear pinned my questions down. What if I was imagining it? What if I was misreading boredom as betrayal? So I clung to the familiar. Quiet dinners, our hands brushing over dishes, the way she still curled into me at night. Yet the whispers in my head persisted, soft and venomous. Then the truth surfaced. Late one night her phone buzzed on the nightstand while she slept. A single notification glowed on the screen. A message from Mark. My stomach dropped. Mark, the coworker she'd mentioned offhandedly, always with a casual laugh. I knew I shouldn't look, but my hands moved before guilt could catch up. The messages hit like a fist. Flirty, intimate, unmistakable. "Last night was electric," he'd written. "Can't stop thinking about you," she'd replied, with a winking emoji that cut me open. I scrolled, each line a deeper wound, until I reached one from Lisa. "You deserve this, babe. Don't let guilt stop you from living." I sat there with the phone trembling in my grip, my world collapsing into a pinpoint of betrayal. Sarah lay beside me, breathing soft and steady, unaware of the storm she had summoned. I wanted to shake her awake, scream, demand an explanation, but the fury cooled into something harder, sharper. A plan. I wouldn't confront her. Not yet. I would let her believe she was still hidden, still safe. I'd watch. Wait. Collect every piece of truth until lies were impossible. The next morning I played the role. I kissed her forehead, made her coffee, forced a smile past the nausea. "Big day today?" I asked, my voice level despite the chaos cracking inside me. She nodded, distracted, already tapping out a message. "Just meetings," she said, but her eyes flickered. A tell I'd never seen until now. I memorized it, filed it away. I wasn't only her husband anymore. I had become an investigator in my own marriage, assembling evidence for a crime I never wanted to acknowledge. I began small, checking her phone while she showered, her laptop when she left the house. The proof stacked up like debris. Late-night texts, deleted emails, a hotel receipt buried in her purse. Each discovery sliced deeper, but I didn't waver. I couldn't. I needed to know why she discarded us. Why Lisa's voice outweighed our vows. Then I found the email from weeks ago. "You're too young to be tied down, Sarah. Mark understands you. He sees the real you, not the wife you pretend to be." The words seared, but they also clarified everything. This wasn't only Sarah's betrayal. Lisa had been feeding poison into her ear, encouraging the unraveling of our life. My anger calcified into resolve. I didn't want a dramatic fight, a tearful apology, or a promise to fix things. I wanted her to feel the consequences of her choices, to watch the fantasy she'd chased crumble. I reached out to Mark's wife, a quiet woman I'd met at a company picnic. Her voice trembled when I told her, but she believed me instantly. My evidence matched her own suspicions. Together we planned our reckoning. I invited Lisa to dinner, knowing she'd accept, confident in her role as Sarah's liberator. I reserved a private room at Sarah's favorite restaurant, the place of our anniversaries, the spot where I'd proposed. The night was crisp, the city lights sharp like shattered glass. Sarah believed it was just a date for the two of us, a chance to reconnect. She wore the dress I loved, smiling with an almost convincing sweetness. Lisa arrived first. Her smirk faltered when she saw Mark's wife, Emily, sitting at the table. Sarah froze, her hand tightening around her glass. I stood, my voice steady but unbreakable. "I know everything," I said, eyes fixed on Sarah. "About Mark. About Lisa's advice. About all the lies." I laid out the evidence, texts, emails, receipts, each one a hammer blow. Sarah's face crumpled, excuses dying before she could speak them. Lisa tried to interject, but Emily's voice cut through, raw and furious, detailing Mark's betrayal. The room became a courtroom, thick with guilt, thick with truth. Tears streaked down Sarah's face, but they didn't move me anymore. "You wanted freedom," I said quietly, "but you shattered us to get it." I turned to Lisa, her face drained of color. "And you pushed her toward this knowing it would destroy her. That's not friendship." I left them there. Sarah sobbing, Lisa speechless, Emily gripping my arm in silent solidarity. Outside, the night swallowed their voices, the city hummed drowning the echoes behind me. Days later Sarah called, pleading, apologizing, promising she'd end things with Mark. But her words were empty, drowned by memories of her whispers and lies. I didn't want her sorrow. I wanted her to face herself. I moved out and started over, each step a little lighter. Her friends had filled her head with fantasies of freedom. I gave her the truth instead, a mirror reflecting what she'd become. And as I walked away, I knew that reflection would follow her for the rest of her life.